What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about muln. I just recorded a very decent video and I realized my mic wasn't on, so I'm gonna try this again. So here we go. You guys know this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm usually drinking by the time that I'm recording my videos because I trade early and I carry on my day. Yeah, let's talk about it. Oh, this is Wee Beastie, Ardbeg. It's a little bit of a challenge if you're a Scotch person. It's very smoky, a little peaty, a little rough around the edges. But if you like that kind of thing, very affordable and worth every penny, in my opinion. So let's look at muln. Let's see what's going on. We'll look at the charts. We'll look at the ortex. We'll talk about the news, and we'll go from there. As far as muln goes, we knew it was probably going to hit 21 cents. It did hit the 21 cents. As of right now, we're in that 21 to 25 area of playground. What's it going to do? Ultimately, I want to see how it responds at 23 cents, and then if it can get or hold 25 cents, and where we go from there. It has just consolidated right on through this trend line, which is pretty decent. I'm not mad about that. We're looking at our RSIs. How's our RSI doing? It's trying its best to break into the trend line that we've been following just to see how all of that goes through. And so far, it's doing okay. My buddy Nugent's back. He says hi. Love you, buddy. All right. So from 21 to 25, we want to see how it responds. If we lose 21, obviously we're going back into our green light, yellow light, red light districts, 2019 to 18 cents. But as long as we can hold 21, I think we're okay from 21 to 23. From 23, I think we're okay from 23 to 25. From 25, things get a little bit better. It looked like as far as muln went, they did say that the IGO was going to come out in January. So we don't have a specific date, which is kind of good and bad. So we don't have a date that, either the shorts are going to be ready or the longs are going to be ready. They're just going to be waiting to see when that news actually drops. So the shorts will either get out or the longs will either, go long, obviously. They're not just sitting there waiting to see if news drops on a specific day. But we would like to see them hit their targets, no doubt. Or at least tell us that they're not going to be able to hit their target date and why they're not hitting their target date. But either way, that's where we are as of right now. So you know what I'm looking for. Ultimately 21 to hold, 23 to hold, 25 to hold. That's pushing us in the right direction. If, as any of those respond as resistance or respond as support, then you know what way we're moving. Our 30-minute, like I said, was getting back into our trend line. Our 1 hour is below, our 4 hour is coming down too, and our daily is also coming down too. So maybe look at those longer time frames and see if they want to make that push as they come down, work their way into this trend line for the longer time frames, and how our shorter time frames are playing. We're not really in bullish territory. We're not really in bearish territory. It's sitting right around 47 right now on the RSI, which is okay. That's kind of just a hold at best, but we'd like to see it pushing for us, no doubt. We're at, 22.29, I believe, in the after hours, so that's okay. We're seeing where we're sitting at. As far as the shorts go, what are we looking like? 14.88% live short interest percent of the free float, saying an increase, but I thought we were a little bit higher today. I might be wrong there. Live short interest 221.16 million. Cost to borrow average coming down just a little bit again. 11.56 utilization, obviously still at 100%. So what I'm watching is what the overall markets are going to do. There's a couple of interesting spots on the SPY, just as far as the big players go. What are they going to do? I mean, They have been pumping. We have a gap fill up here around 3 up to about 388.05, so I want to see if that pulls in. If we get above 388.05, I could see it kind of getting a little bit choppy up there, but also watch your area down here from 385 to about 384.50. How it responds there. I think it could be a quick pull up or a quick rejection back down. It very well might want to fill this gap. It could also, I don't know if it's going to work its way. There's a lot of work to get it all the way back up to 398. I think we do have a couple of announcements coming out on Friday. I don't have the information pulled up in front of me to know what two catalysts we have on Friday, but I do think there are a couple of catalysts. So, I mean, as of right now, the markets are pumping. They're doing okay, which could be nice for muln, but, we're kind of more fundamental based right now. I think the technicals of the Wyckoff theory probably played out into that 40-cent run, and then we got halted and everything came back down. So now we're back to the fundamentals. How's it going to respond? How are everything going to respect as we move through there? Going into IGO after the vote is a little bit of a questionable point, I think, in my opinion. What is the company going to do? DM, obviously, with all those extra shares, is he going to throw out IGO and then try to raise some money for the company by releasing shares? Keep an eye on how it moves after the vote and after IGO release. If he's throwing shares out, then obviously that's going to be added selling pressure onto the company, and you don't want to be last. I mean, if you see a nice pump and then you're seeing it just bleed, then you got a pretty good idea of what DM is doing with his authorized shares that he will have after the vote. So keep an eye on that. A lot of things to look for. I do think markets overall are not ready to set higher highs and head back to our all-time high levels. I think we're going to be bleeding, so your long positions, it's hard to play right now, which is why I keep saying have a trading plan and be cash heavy, because you can play these markets in either direction for what they're worth as the time goes on. We don't want to see the markets come down, but your play is not going to affect it. So if you're playing something to the downside, that's okay. It's just helping some of your long positions. You're just hedging like anybody else would. So let's see how it all plays out. Overall, be watching 21 cents heavy just to make sure that that's going to hold. 23 going to hold, and then 25, is it going to hold? You could flip for pennies, possibly, as of right now, while we're waiting for the fundamentals, the news to come out. I do have my long-term position. I also have two other accounts that are short-term that I've openly said I am flipping for pennies, because I need to kind of secure my risk to the best that I can. So that's my play. I don't know about the January's 50-cent strikes. We're getting a little bit close on those. If you played them back in the past, whenever my video came out, you had an opportunity to get out with a very nice reward. I don't know how the rest of those are going to play out. It might be a little bit too close, especially with IGO, and knowing IGO is not going to release news until January. Might be a better idea to have an idea for a longer term vision if you're playing calls or any options, and just keep a very close eye on them. Make sure that they're not going too far against you, and wait for that opportunity whenever it seems right, whenever the setup's there, so that you can take full advantage of that. All in all, I think that covers what I wanted to say for today. I appreciate you guys coming back and watching another one. I will catch you in the next one. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay great.